Good afternoon, uh, dignitaries on dais, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I shall be speaking on the exploration challenges, particularly with reference to the overseas operations. Uh, the energy is life and enhances the quality of life. The demand for the various type of the energy will grow with the population. Sourcing new energy requires the extensive exploration, especially in the hydrocarbons. The hunt of the hydrocarbons hidden deep within the earth for the millions of years. With no direct tool, technology available to find it begins in the mind. It is all about the knowledge, experience, innovations, belief, geological modeling, geopolitics, society, and economics. Modern society is a slave to the hydrocarbons, and from the time we wake up till we sleep, hydrocarbons enables us life so many in different ways. Being a non-replenishable form of the energy, its supply has to match to the demand in order to continue the way we live and also to improve upon. And so exploration for the more hydrocarbon has to go on. My presentation is confined to the why we explore the hydrocarbons, where to explore the hydrocarbons, what are the exploration challenges are there, and what are the challenges to mitigate these challenges, and what are the future exploration tools are there. So, unfortunately, the presentation I am unable to show here. I will just go through the slides which I have. First of all, why to explore the hydrocarbons? As can be seen, energy scenario prediction from the 2040 by the ExxonMobil, it shows that the population is growing tremendously, and by 2040, every year this population of India shall be going equivalent to the one Australia country. So it is going tremendously, and the impact of this population has a direct impact on the hydrocarbons consumption also. And the GDP also is related to the this population growth also. So more GDP growth is there, more hydrocarbons requirement is also there. So in the coming years, say average growth per year to the 2010 to the 2014, the population will be 0.8%. And the average growth of the GDP from the 2010 to the 2040 will be 2.8%. So if you can see this relation with this growth, GDP, and the population, the demand of these hydrocarbons will be increasing much more in the near years to come. Particularly this hydrocarbons, the Asia Pacific region will be require more hydrocarbons because the population growth is here more, particularly in the India, China, Korea, and other countries of the Asia Pacific regions. And here the primary consumption of the hydrocarbons are the coal, oil, gas, and the renewables, and the others are there. But this coal and the gas will be the remain more dominant part in the consumption of the hydrocarbons in this particular the Asia Pacific region. If you see in the other parts of the world, particularly in the US or the Europe, the percentage of this coal and this oil is less as compared to the India Pacific regions or the Asia Pacific regions. There this quantity of this replaced by this gas is more, plus the renewables and the nuclear and the other energies are there. Now, where to explore the hydrocarbons? If you recall, this US geological estimates means that the undiscovered conventional oil and gas is 560 billions of the barrels. It is still undiscovered hydrocarbons of the conventional oil is the 560 billion barrels is there, and undiscovered conventional natural gas is 5,066 trillion cubic feet of the gas is there. And in 171 priority geological provinces of the world, exclusive of the United States, have been identified. So if you see the potential of these hydrocarbons, which is occurring in the earth, is plenty, but only thing is that how we explore these hydrocarbons in these difficult scenarios. The easy to find oil, particularly in this on land area, it's now exhaust mostly. And secondly, particularly in this you can say this anticlines are there, which is the main source of the exploration of the hydrocarbons. We have mostly exhausted. Now we have entered into the era of the difficult situation, the geological complexities, where mostly our explorations are confined towards the deeper waters and the ultra deep waters, and which requires more not only these particularly the expenditure, but also the new technologies and the new things are also required which can explore these hydrocarbons. In the 2013, if we see, this majority of the hydrocarbons have been discovered as these oil majors, like this BP is there, Petrobras is there, Statoil is this, Anadarko, ENI, and they are. Because these are the companies which have already invested in the exploration sector in the earlier, say, 15 to 20 years back. And because any company's growth is dependent on the organic growth of the exploration, and rightly they have dependent on this organic growth, and most of these hydrocarbons, what they have discovered in this 2013 is the 6.4 billion barrels of the oil during the 2013 have been discovered, and 9.1 billion equivalent barrels of the gas has been discovered in the 2013 itself. And they are basically in the if you see the South America part, this is the Brazil, in the subsalt areas is there. Then also in the western part of the Africa, this is Angola, Congo, and this areas is there. And then Mozambique on the eastern part of the Africa. And similarly, in the other parts of the world, these discoveries have been made in the 2013. Now, these are the areas which are these are the areas which have been discovered in 2013, but still a lot of areas are there where this hydrocarbons are to be discovered. I will talk about this thing, and before that, I will let you know what are the challenges for the exploration. There are the two types of the challenges. First is the above the ground challenges, and another is the below the ground challenges. The above the ground challenges are equally important as compared to the below the ground challenges. And these challenges are in the terms of the accesses, maybe easy to entry into any country. I am talking about particularly the overseas, when we are going for the overseas operations. It is challenges are there, whether the ease is there, easy to entry into the new countries there. Physical system or physical regime is also important, and contract type, whether it is the PSA type or the royalty or the tax type or the service contract type. ONGC Videsh is working in the 17 countries on the 36 projects overseas, and we know that we have in all this type of the contracts, mostly in the PSA type of the contracts, production sharing type of the contracts are there. Also the royalty and the tax regime is also there, and the service contract is also there. So each contract is a different type, and each has a different bearings are there on this contract, particularly when we are working in these countries with these host governments. Also, the state presence, regulations, corruptions, and geopolitics. They play an important role in the country where we are working overseas also. In the terms of the development, yes, this labor component is very important. Natural hazards, for example, earthquake, floods, and they also hamper this exploration work also. Civil unrest, particularly civil unrest, and this security and the militancy, which we have observed in our areas, particularly whether it is the Sudan is there, or the Syria is there, the Iraq is there, or Iran is there. These are the areas where we have disrupted due to this type of the activities. And another is the supply chain and the local content, because in the most of the areas where we are working, there is mandatory of the local content. For example, whether it is Brazil is there, Colombia is there, or Venezuela is there, you have to take the local content, and sometimes it is up to 50% or more local content is there. And these are also affects your exploration activities also. And the third part above the ground is the challenges, is the commercialization. Infrastructure availability, for example, infrastructure is again a very important aspect. For example, if you take these Africa regions, whether it is the South Sudan is there, or Uganda is there, or the Tanzania is there, or any other countries there, which are landlocked, and there this infrastructure facility is very poor. So before entering into any country, we are also seeing this infrastructure facilities, because and the connectivity. Once you discover hydrocarbons, then you have to connect with these pipelines also. So infrastructure facilities available, and the technologies also is a very important thing, which hampers this exploration activities also. Gas market, availability to gas market. If we discover the gas, but there is no gas market, then also it's a fallback on the, particularly the operator also, and the OPEC affiliation. So these are some of the things which are the challenges above the ground. But simultaneously, there are the challenges which are below the grounds, which are the geological complexities. For example, tectonically complex areas are there, highly folded, faulted, or the thrust areas are there. These are geological complex areas. Subsurface imaging. In the areas, particularly if you see in the Brazil area where the subsalt is there is a difficulty in the imaging below the subsalt. Similar in the basalts, imaging below the basalt is also a very challenging area. And as we are going in the deeper and the deeper waters, or ultra deep waters, there is a problem of availability of drilling challenges are also there. So these are the challenges which are subsurface is there. As far as opportunities are there, where we to explore, yes, there is a lot of opportunities are there. If we talk about the Africa region, Africa is a hot cake for the explorationists, particularly all over the world, because untapped hydrocarbons are still lot of hydrocarbons are there. I will talk particularly in the this African rift margins, which is a very important from the geological point of view. And currently, a lot of companies are engaged in these areas for the African rift margins in the areas of, say, Sudan, Uganda, Ethiopia, Kenya, and Tanzania. This is a very prominent rift system which is available in this Africa regions, and currently most of the companies are engaged here to explore these hydrocarbons in this area. It is just like our rift system in the Kembe Basin is there. It's a small portion, but similar. It's right from the north to the center of the Africa regions, this rift system is active. And one of the most favorite area for the exploration is this rift system is there. Another part is the western flank of Lake this Lake Albert is there, and Lake Tanganyika is there. These are the very good hydrocarbon resources, or the potential areas are there. But the main problem in this area is that the depth of these lakes are the very deep. They are about the 4 or 5 kilometers depth, and particularly these are the landlocked area is there. So bringing this particularly for the seismic purpose, or the bringing this ship is a very difficult aspect, particularly in this area. So these are, you can say, as the frontier areas for this exploration point of view. Although some agencies, they are working over there, they are with this altering the methodologies and developing this new tools for this seismic, as well as the particularly this drilling ships, developing drilling ships constructed there itself, and using these techniques are there. Another important areas for the new areas for the exploration is the Latin America. Now, as you know, that Mexico is now open for the hydrocarbons exploration and the exploitation. And this Mexico is a very huge potential for the particularly these oil companies, and everybody's eyes is on this Mexico region is there. But on the same time, there are a lot of challenges. Particularly there's a deep water and the ultra deep water regime is there, which is more than 3,000 meters water depth is there, and below that the sediments are nearly about 3 kilometers or so it is there. So these opportunities is huge, but at the same time this challenges for the this drilling is also there. On the same time, they have also this onshore blocks are there, and this deep water, shallow deep water blocks are there. Heavy oil is there. Heavy oil is a plenty in the Mexico, but again, there is a lot of challenges because they are occurring in the very deep waters, and bringing them to the surface and to the connecting to the pipelines is another challenge is there. Similar is the area in the Brazil is there, where the subsalt, recently the subsalt discoveries have been made, and a lot of now Brazil is dependent on the subsalt discovery, but the huge investment. So the cost of the investment in this area is very high, as if you see in the, whether it is, say, South, this Mexico is there, or the Brazil is there, because as you go in the difficult areas, you requires more investment from the technological point of view to bring out this oil. Although these hydrocarbons are there, oil is there, gas is there, but you require the innovative technologies there, and to bring them to the surface, it requires a huge investment. For the per well drilling in this area is about $150 million or the $200 million approximately in these areas are there. So there is a huge investment is there. So these are some of the things, because in the current scenario where this oil prices is now go down to the $45 to $50 per barrel. So such the projects which are very important from the exploration point of view, they will be hampered in the due course of time. And I have seen that in the last 1 week back, I have read that about the most of the IOCs, they have reduced this exploration expenditures in the new areas right from the 45% to the 20% or so, even less. So in these areas, they have just cost curtails are there, but there is no cash flow if these areas are there. Similar, the other areas is the Falkland Island is there, Colombia and region is there. ONGC Videsh is working in the Colombia region. We have 5 or 6 projects are there. The 2 in the deep water offshore is there, and also in the on-land areas are there we are working. And Ecuador is also important. Another important focus area is the Russia, where we have Arctic basins, Black Sea areas at the east, and the West Siberian basins are there. These are the although challenges there, but the future of the oil industry lies in these areas, because the Arctic area has a huge potential of the hydrocarbons, and only thing is that in the new course of time, with the new development of the technology, we could able to exploit these hydrocarbons in these areas. Now, how to and last in this areas for the exploration point of view is the Southeast area, where this Indonesia is there, South China Sea is there, Vietnam is there, then Thailand is there. So Myanmar and the other countries are there. There the huge potential of these hydrocarbons are there, and Indonesia is particularly is now very well developed in the exploration point of view and the production point of view. Now, the next is how to mitigate these challenges. These challenges can be mitigated with the help of the seismic imaging and processing. There is a lot of now imaging methods are there. Processing techniques have been developed. With the help of this, this better imaging can be done in this area. Electromagnetic methods have been developed. Drilling advancements are also there. Partnering with these NOCs and the IOCs, particularly just to share the risk. If most of the NOCs, they are partnering with the IOCs also, or NOC to the NOC relations they have developed as a joint ventures partners are there, so that they can mitigate the risk, and the expertise of the one NOCs can be utilized by the other NOCs in the term of the whether the technology is there or in the form of these expenditure is there, or these are the areas. And government to government relationship also to some extent help us in this mitigating these challenges. Another area of the mitigating risk is the seismic area, where this multi-azimuth seismic surveys are there. Recently, we have in this A1 and A3 blocks in the Myanmar, we are utilizing this multi-azimuth surveys there. With the help of this, we can able to pinpoint the leftover areas, certain areas which are in the very deep and the complex areas there, where this, with the help of the Azimuth survey, we could able to identify the prospectivity of those blocks. And we are taking with this and our DEU and other partners are also there. So we are working with them for this Azimuth survey, and we will be identify the prospective areas in the very deep and deeper water areas are also there. And similarly is the multi-component seismic, passive seismic and electromagnetic methods are also available, which are we are utilizing in some of our projects also. If we see the future hydrocarbons, yes, beside this hydrocarbons, the future other renewables or other energies are the shale gas exploration, gas hydrates, tight gas, heavy oils, tars, and the coal bed methanes are there, which are the areas where we can depend on the hydrocarbons beside this regular oil and gas. Thank you very much.